The Cambridge Audio EXA100, the ultimate integrated amp that Cambridge offers. Today we're going to talk all about it. Now, I get it, it's expensive, and if it's too expensive for you, I've got an awesome video, the best amplifiers under $500. I will put that right here. So if $2,200 is too much, and I get it, it's not for everybody. Most people's budgets are far below that. Check out this video right here. But for all the rest of you that are interested in one of the best hi-fi manufacturers out there, let's take a look at the Cambridge EXA 100. I'm waiting for my coffee to brew. I need to get a fancy coffee maker instead of this one. I lied to you. There's one more expensive integrated amplifier from Cambridge, the Edge A. We have the AXA35, the CXA61, the CXA81, CXA81 Mark II, the AXA100, and the Edge A. Covering price points from $399 all the way up to $6,000. Cambridge has got an integrated amplifier for just about anybody. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I know it's super easy. You can donate your subscription, take it back. You have unlimited subscriptions to donate, and it makes me feel good on the inside if you donate your subscription. Thanks for watching. I feel like Cambridge has just been on a tear lately. The Evo 1, which is their all-in-one kind of speaker streaming amplifier, looks kind of like a sound bar, but it sounds really, really good. It's just amazing. They've released a bunch of headphones. The CXA81 Mark II, which is an integrated amplifier, coming in at $1,200. They've got the old stalwart, the veteran AXA35, coming in at $400. Their line of products kind of covers everybody from the start of their hi-fi journey all the way up till the end of their hi-fi journey. And there's a lot of things that the Cambridge products have in common. But the EXA 100, I think, kind of gets back to Cambridge Audio's roots. Let's talk about some specifications. Has a lot of the same features as the CXA100 Mark II, but is pretty much just beefier in every way. Has a huge toroidal transformer. I mean huge, with huge heat sinks around the transformer. It's really quite impressive. It's very attractive on the inside under the hood. And you can kind of see it because there's a mesh cover on top, but I wish this would have been put on display a little bit more. Maybe a plexiglass top or something like that. Or the mesh top, you could see through it a little bit. Maybe a few RGB lights inside that you could change up. Party, maybe, blinking lights. That would be fun. Green and red right now for Christmas. A lot of fun. You could see inside the integrated amplifier and you can be entertained while you're listening to your music. It could be pulsing with the music as you're listening to it. Whether it's Korn, Beastie Boys, or even some classic Chicago. Maybe the Grand Funk Railroad. Puts out 100 watts times 2 in an 8 ohms. 155 watts times 2 in a 4 ohms. 4 ohm capability, obviously, because I just gave you the 4 ohm rating. THD of 0.002% claimed, that's what they say. Signal to noise ratio greater than 91 dB. Frequency response 3 up to 40,000 hertz. Has the Sabre 9018 K2M DAC inside, which is ironically the same DAC that I believe is inside the Advanced Paris A10 Classic. one of my other favorite integrated amplifiers coming in around the same price point. Has Bluetooth, yay, and works as a Roon player. You have to have a subscription to Roon though. Class AB design, which I really love. Now, the Evo 150, I absolutely love this amplifier. It's a Class D amplifier. The EXA 100 is all Class AB yumminess. The interesting thing is they sound pretty similar. So you have an amplifier coming in at $1,000 less. Doesn't quite have as many options, i.e. it doesn't have the Stream Magic streamer inside, but they do sound similar. They have the similar ethos, and if anything, I actually like the EXA 100 sound better than the Evo 150 sound. But they're both good. On the back, you have a whole bunch of inputs, outputs, things, receptacles for things to be plugged in. 2 sets of speaker binding posts, which means you can run 2 speakers, 2 sets of speakers. Obviously, you can run 2 speakers. You can run 4 speakers, 2 pair, at the same time. Next to that, you have a subwoofer output. Above that, you have an eARC input, which is great. Super easy. I've had my Apple TV hooked up to my TV and then ARC from my TV into the EXA 100. As soon as I turn on the Apple TV, guess what? Hear a bunch of relays clicking and popping and then lights come on, and it's easy. And when the kids turn on the Apple TV, the sound comes out, which is really a low bar, but that is my litmus test for how good a piece of equipment performs when connected to HDMI. Does it work? This works, and it works consistently. Next to the sub out, you have preamp outputs, which means you can use this as a preamp. Next to that, you have 1, 2, 3 analog inputs. Above that, USB input with a ground lift switch. In between there, there's your Bluetooth area, System of the Down. Next to that, you have a coaxial in, 2 optical ins right next to that. Below that, you have balanced inputs and another single-ended input. One of the things that surprises me the most is there is no phono stage on the back of here. And a lack of a phono stage is kind of something that Cambridge does. I don't quite understand why. There's got to be a reason why, because, well, they make turntables too. I have one right there. One of the things I'll say about the Cambridge Audio house sound is it's clean, it's detailed, and I think it's neutral. I don't really feel like Cambridge Audio amplifiers, whether it be, now, bear with me. I don't think the CXA81 Mark II, the Evo 150, I don't think the EXA 100 color the sound very much. I don't have a lot of experience with anything else, but the EXA 35 definitely colors the sound. Very warm, very rich, very flavorful. As you go up in the line in price, features, performance, gets a lot more neutral. At $2,200, you're coming in around the same price as some of my other favorite integrated amplifiers. The Advanced Paris A10 Classic, which shares a lot of the same feature set, has more, has a phono stage. Also coming in at $2,000 is the Unison Research Unico Primo, which has no digital stuff inside, but it's coming in at $200 less expensive. I think one of the criticisms of this, besides the lack of phono stage, is also going to be a lack of tone controls. And that's not uncommon for Cambridge. They just don't have tone controls on most of their higher end products. So the only way that you're going to get tone controls or any type of EQ is if you have a digital streamer or something else going into the EXA 100 that supports that. Does come with a very nice remote control. I do feel like the remote control build quality, there's nothing wrong with it. It's great. You can drop it. It's not going to break. At $2,200 though, I wish it had a little bit higher end of a remote control. When I think about the Evo 150 and its remote control, it just feels a lot more premium than the one that you get with the EXA 100. Still works, still great, still looks nice. Not nearly as nice as the Evo 150s though. Back in that bag again. Whoa. I feel like the EXA 100 is more dynamic than the Evo 150. Evo 150 is still great. I just feel, especially on the bass, there's a lot more fullness, immediacy, a lot more. I can't get it to slap. But the EXA 100 certainly slaps on the bottom end. I've been running pretty much every speaker I've had for the last 6 weeks off of the EXA 100. And it plays well with everything. Really did a great job with the Dolly Opticon 6. Also, excellent job with the Wharfedale Super Linton. I really like that combo. ELAC Debut 3s, the 6.5 inch version and the 5.25 inch version, really taken up to the next level with the Cambridge Audio. And that speaker can really scale with better electronics, depending upon what electronics you put on it, of course. But I could really hear the neutrality of the amplifier and the DAC because it's all kind of connected. And the cleanliness, the neutrality, kind of brought the top end of the Debut 3s up just a titch, especially compared to when I was running the Debut 3s off of the Unico Primo, which is a much richer, not as detailed on top amplifier. Still awesome amplifier, but it's putting a lot more of its own flavor on the music. Compared to the Advanced Paris A10 Classic, the theme is kind of the same. More neutral, has about the same amount of dynamics though. But where the EXA 100 starts to pull away from the Advanced Paris a little bit is in channel separation. And it's interesting because the way that they designed it, they have separate heat sinks for the right and the left channel, which I don't think is like super uncommon, but I know that a lot of the circuit design, a lot of the way that they laid out this thing when they designed it was to improve channel separation. And that's what I heard. In my experience, as you get a more expensive piece that's designed well, I'm not just saying because something costs more, it's better, but as you get a more expensive, better designed piece, it starts to improve channel separation. It starts to improve the three-dimensionality of the music. So people in space, in the soundstage depth, placement seems to be more locked in and believable. I think this is a great amplifier. I do think I prefer the sound more than the CXA81 Mark II. More dynamic, I think I've said that before. I also prefer the sound over the Evo 150, more dynamic. Does that have anything to do with the Class AB design? I don't know, because the CXA81 Mark II is also a Class AB design. What you're getting with the Evo 150, obviously, is a different form factor, and you're getting the integrated Stream Magic streamer. I do wish it had tone controls. I get why they don't do it, but I still wish they had defeatable tone controls. I also wish it had a phono stage, because this thing is jam-packed with inputs. And to not have a phono stage is a bit of an interesting choice. And there's got to be a reason why, because the Cambridge Audio folks are not doing things haphazardly. So if you know why they left off the phono stage, put it in the comments. With his price coming in where it's at, there's a ton of competition. And at $2,200, you could put together a really awesome system, including a turntable, including an external DAC, including even external streamer. But you're not going to get the instrument separation. You're not going to get the placement in space. And depending upon which amp it is, I don't think you're going to get the level of neutrality, but also have the level of dynamics. Because that's what I've heard a lot in the past, is if you get a really neutral amplifier, you don't always get that bass slap, that bass punch. I think this is a great amp if you have the budget for it. But make sure before you buy it that it fits your needs. Make sure you check out the best amps of 2024 too. I will put that right here, and maybe the best speakers of 2024 here or here. Thank you so much for watching.